Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I have filmed this video probably twice at this point. This is probably my third time, and every time I seem to feature the products I'm talking about right here. Do you see them? No, you don't. Today we're hoping that third time is the charm. So I have 10 affordable brushes in front of me that I think are probably some of my most used tools ever, and I want to talk about them. And I also have one that's like an honorable mention, because even though I don't use it that much, the reason why I don't use it is because I don't use that type of product enough to use this brush enough. But the moment I want to use that type of product, immediately I reach for it. So let's get started. I think we're gonna go with order of application. Foundation first. Listen, I believe that the easiest and most efficient tool to apply your foundation is a brush. No matter what type of formula you're dealing with, a brush always works. A sponge doesn't, because if you're using a brush, a foundation like the MAC Face and Body, for example, which is what I've been using lately, a sponge is just going to suck it all up. You're not going to get any coverage out of it. But if you use a brush, you're definitely going to get as much coverage as you can with the MAC Face and Body. So the brushes that I have right here, the first one is a brush that I don't really know if anyone can get abroad, but I believe that you can because the website seems to ship internationally. But this is the Jade Cosmetics brush in the number 12. This is one of the best foundation brushes I've used ever, I think. I love it because it's big and efficient and fast. I love it because it blends concealer as well as foundation. It can even blend like cream cheek products. It's brilliant for what it does. And as you can see, it's filthy and needs to be washed, because I love using this. What can I say? It's phenomenal. It's a great foundation brush. Along with that, I really love using the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. In fact, I have two of these. One that I dedicate to my Salt New York cheek palette, the contour, bronzer, and blush and highlighter, and the other one, which is what I use as a foundation and concealer blending tool. I adore it. It's so good. It's so efficient. It blends beautifully, seamlessly. I literally have nothing bad to say about it. It's brilliant. And in my eyes, it's one of the best tools that I have, because it does so many things. I feel like with the Jade one, because the size can be kind of restricting, like who would use that brush to highlight or to contour? It's just a bit big. But with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, I feel like you can definitely have a more controlled application because the size is more controlled. So let's keep going. Now we're talking about powder. And this is the only brush that I don't know if you can get this specific one internationally, but I'll talk about it because the shape has been done 1,000 times at this point, at least. And I'm talking about the Carol.A brush in the number 02. This is how it looks. It's domed, round, and it's domed all around. It's fluffy but not too fluffy. It's dense but not too dense. It's fantastic for loose powder, for pressed powder. It's even great for bronzer. It's so good at, let's say you applied a little bit too much of your cheek products, so you go over the edges with this, with whatever is left on the brush, and it just blends your cheek products and erases your mistakes. It's really phenomenal. Great. I love it. Next is for bronzers and blushes. I'm gonna combine those two because I feel like these brushes can do both. The first one is the Real Techniques blush brush. It does say blush, and it works stunningly for blush, and I use it mainly for blush, but it works perfect for bronzers. It works great for powder, like all over face powder. It works great if you use a very light hand just to contour your cheekbones ever so slightly with the lightest hand possible, because it's tapered. I like it because not all the blushes have the same length, so I feel like the most color is right where I apply or like right where I press the brush, and then the rest of the bristles just diffuse and help blend. It's so good. This one is a dual fiber kind of stippling brush from Kiko. It's in the number 04. The blush handle came detached. I was too lazy to go return it, so I just sellotaped it, and it's been working great for years. And you know, sometimes you're too lazy, and that is a fantastic quick fix occasionally. Anyway, this is a fantastic brush for, again, cheek application. This is my favorite blush brush for the MAC Glow Play, or like any putty type of texture, like a cream powder sort of hybrid, a cross between the two. I like it, I really do. And also for powders, obviously it works beautifully. I haven't tried it with creams or with liquids, but I have a feeling that it's gonna do a great job, I think. Anyway, moving on to highlighter. This video is going by quickly, huh? We have two highlighting brushes that I love. The first one is the Real Techniques setting face brush. Setting brush, yes. I mean, you can definitely use it to set your under eyes, but who would set the rest of their face with this unless you like to set pinpointed areas? I like to set the whole beast. But this for highlighter, goals. Highlighting blush goals. I feel like that's so old school right now, and that's why I said it, because I feel like highlight is becoming a bit old school at this point, but I still love it. I do. I also really love the Kiko brush in the number, it must be number 66 or 99. I really don't know. I'll leave it right here. It's more tapered and it's smaller, so I feel like it's more precise. The application is more precise. This is more domed and slightly larger, but this shape is a bit unique because on one side it's really narrow, and on the other side it gets a bit wider, but both sides are tapered and both sides obviously have the same fluffiness. It's honestly brilliant. And actually the setting brush can be a great nose concealer, crevices concealer sort of brush if you're struggling to reach your inner crevices. Not all of them. Anyway, moving on, we have a bunch, not really a bunch, but we have 3 eyeshadow brushes. I included these two, although I don't know if Kiko still, not Kiko, CarolCosmos. I don't know if CarolCosmos still make these, but you know, CarolCosmos discontinue things all the time, and it's basically a shape that I'm recommending. But first, let's talk about this. This is a Kiko brush in the number 20. You know what? Let's get smart here. If this is how all the if not 20, 02. If this is how all the brushes are supposed to be red, then this must be number 66. Right? Yes, absolutely. That one was 66. Okay, so this one is number 02, number 2. I love using this to blend in my cream eyeshadow. Such a good cream eyeshadow blending moment. Also for the lower lash line, fantastic. Also for the inner corner, incredible. What else? Even for concealer, like concealing pimples or like discolored tiny little areas, not huge areas. Great for that. It's such a good brush. It's so good that I have 2 of it, actually. Final 2. We are at the home stretch. We have 2 from ColourPop. We have the ColourPop E1 and the ColourPop E2. E1 is basically like a more smaller, less fluffy version of the MAC 217. It is narrow on one side and wider on the other side. It's supposed to have two types of bristles, but I think they're just like dyed at the top so that it looks more aesthetic. I don't know. Anyway, it is not so fluffy. It's kind of dense, but it works beautifully for a few things. First, it works beautifully to apply eyeshadow by pressing it onto the lid. That's phenomenal. It also works beautifully to blend in eyeshadow into your crease. Phenomenal. And if you use it horizontally, where the narrow side is like perpendicular to your face, kind of like that, it works beautifully to blend in your lower lash line. It works beautifully for so many things, clearly, and I love it. The other one is round all around. It's just round and fluffy and tapered and domed, and it's just a blending brush dream. It's so good for blending, so good for that. I mean, listen, with these two CarolCosmos brushes, they really didn't invent or reinvent the wheel. They went with what's popular and did something similar. So if you have a brush that's like this, round, fluffy, not too big, not too small, perfect for your eye shape, because this is kind of eye shape sensitive, then you don't need to invest in another one. But if you think that your blending game could use a bit of help, maybe a brush like this could do the magic. This one is such a multitasker. I love how it can literally you can literally have an entire eye look with one, like a complex one with like a shimmer on the lid and a matte in the crease and an outer corner and a lower lash line and an inner corner and so many different things. You can literally do that with one brush, and that is phenomenal. Now, as for my honorable mention, this is the Real Techniques brush. What is it called? Deluxe Crease Brush. I don't use this anywhere on my eyelid. I don't. Although I see it working beautifully as a cream shadow blending brush or even like a lower lash line. It would probably do great for that. But cream nose contour. Hello! You're great for that, and that's literally what I use it for. I can even use it to highlight the bridge of my nose and also my cupid's bow with a cream highlighter. It's really, really, really a phenomenal brush. So yeah, these are all of the brushes. I feel like with these brushes you can literally do your entire face. You won't need high-end brushes for this. But sometimes, you know, like if you have something fancy and you don't need to add to the collection, disregard this whole entire recommendation list. But if you're looking to improve your application when it comes to any of these makeup application stages, then this recommendation list could be helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and please purchase wisely. Make your purchases wisely. Think about what you need, what you have, what you don't need, and purchase wisely. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye. Oh, tell me what your favorite brushes are.